Hi guys, it's Erica. One person that I can definitely say I have had a change of perception with is actually one of my best friends to this day. And we knew each other in high school, but we weren't really good friends. Like, we hung out a couple of times in like the same group of people, but we never really had this interpersonal connection. And I remember one day in class, my senior year, I was talking to person B, who is one of our mutual friends, and we were just kind of having small talk. Oh, what'd you do over the weekend? And she was like, oh, I hung out with this person, who is person A, who's one of my best friends. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, how could you hang out with her? She's so annoying and she's really obnoxious and she just says really crazy things that people don't normally say. And that's like what I was thinking. I didn't say it out loud, obviously, but I'm thinking that in my head. And then she says, oh, she's actually really cool. Like, she's actually a really nice person. And I don't know if she knew I was thinking that, or I know a lot of other people think that or thought that about her too, until they actually get to know her. They're like, oh, she actually is a really cool person. So, that definitely changed my perception of her. And even though I kind of didn't really believe it at first, when I actually did hang out with her, I learned that she actually is a really cool and really nice person. So how this happened, how we got to hanging out, when I graduated, I went to Miracosta, and not many students from my high school ended up going to Miracosta, but she did. And I remember seeing her on campus one day, and somehow we just started talking, and then we planned to hang out and like study together. And now she's one of my best friends to this day. And at first I was like, she's gonna be probably really annoying. I don't really want to hang out with her, but she was actually really cool. So I really did take into account what person B said about person A, and it definitely flipped my perception of her. So before, I thought she was like really annoying and obnoxious, but it's kind of like I learned to embrace it. And when she says like these crazy things, like I mentioned, she'll say things that you're like, oh my God, you can't just say that. Like, no one says that for a reason. Like, and there's things that people, like, you think in your head, but you don't say out loud. So, for example, when I was talking to person B, when I'm like, oh, she's so annoying, she would have said that out loud to the person. So she says these things, and you're like, oh my God, that's not normal. But it's actually really entertaining and really funny to be around. So I've definitely learned to embrace the negatives that I initially perceived her as. So, like I said, she's one of my best friends to this day, and person B's perception of her actually kind of changed my perception of what I thought of my one of my really good best friends. So, thank you.